I think there's a couple I'm interested in. I think sourcing secure technology products is a really important thing, because if you sort of bricks and foundation aren't in a good place, then you're going to really struggle with some of the other principles. And there's a bunch of really good guidance out there. There's the NCSC cloud security principles. There's secure by default from NCSC as well. So there's a load of good stuff out there about it. But it's important to recognise the challenge in sourcing secure technology products, because most companies, it's not their driving incentive to sell, is it? So I think, yeah, that's why it's so important, because it's a very broad church, and if you get it wrong, it's difficult. So I think spending a lot of time understanding what you're buying, and does it meet the secure by design principles? Does it do what you expect it to do, both from a functional perspective and a security perspective, is super important. And then the second one for me is the principle around embedding continuous assurance. Because again, as a security professional for a couple of decades, I've often pulled my hair out when we've done something really, really good, and you sort of go home from the project delivery, you put your feet up and you've done a great job, and then 3 to 6 months later, there's so much drift because it's not embedded. So I think that continual assurance, when we can continue to improve, monitor and maintain what we've done securely well, and evolve to and meet threats and technology changes, is a really important principle as well.
So I think just to point people in the right direction, security.gov.uk is the site where you can get all the background and all the information about the principles. The first principle on there being around responsibility for cyber risk. Again, not new in terms of, there's been plenty of conversation around getting the board involved, raising that up to the higher levels in terms of fundamentally making sure that an organization understands the risks in which it's operating. One, to secure budget, but two, to just actually provide the whole environment in which security is considered as part of a service and a solution. It's the culture of the business. So I think the detail around bringing the right people into those conversations and ensuring that everyone's clear on their role within security. So when you bring the board in, and don't just ask for budget in terms of, I need to go and buy some security products to make us more secure, has been the typical kind of conversation up to this point. The CISO never has enough resource. There's always more that's needed. This is more explaining what the risks actually are. What would it actually mean if these things were to happen? How can we all work together to actually solve these problems at a complete organizational level, as opposed to it being an IT problem or a security problem? This is really the full engagement. We've mentioned culture. To me, principle one is how that's being brought right into this framework.
So the one that I'm really happy that it's included is number 4, which is design usable security controls, because the number of times that you come across a secure system where the security control stops someone from doing their job, which then means the user tries to achieve their outcome in another less secure way, really is a key undermining factor that I've seen in so many systems, where a great example is secure systems that take a while to boot. If turning the secure device on takes you 5 minutes, you're probably going to not use it. And so you need to empower the user to make it easier for them to make the right, safe, secure decisions, and to do that work how they should be doing it securely, rather than putting barriers up to them going, oh, well, I could do it on that system, but it's going to take me 5 minutes to boot it up, so I might as well just do it on this one over here. I think that for me is considering the user in the loop is really important. I think the one that I am surprised on the focus is the one around sourcing secure technology products. So where we are seeing more of this focus on the supply chain, it's really refreshing and quite surprising how much focus has been put on that. So whether it's sourcing devices, whether it's your software supply chain, something that we've always talked about almost at a theoretical level, but as we've seen over the last couple of years, more and more of these supply chain attacks have come along. And I think that has been quite surprising how much suddenly we've had to suddenly start to do an awful lot more around auditing. Where's the software come from? Where's the hardware come from? What's the supply chain it's taken to get to here today? I think that is, it's very welcoming, but it's quite surprising.